If you are ready for something absolutely beautiful, I will tell you Flit and Flutter is going to solve that need for you. It is a beautiful collection and it's brand new from hot off the press, and I've got lots of goodies to share with you, and there are just so many things that I can show you. Let me just show you this. This is one card that we'll be looking at, and you can see the Flit and Flutter. It's just gorgeous, and just like that. And this is from my heart to yours. That says it perfectly. Won't you please come play with us? Well, before we get into Debbie's projects, let me just show you what's in the collection. And as always, we are going to start with the papers because, you know, that's where everything kind of starts. So these are the 12 by 12. There are 12 by 12s in the package. There are 2 each of the designs, and I'm going to show them to you. But there are also ideas on the packaging, and that's true for all of Hot Off the Press's products. So there's a scrapbook page and a card. I'm going to show you both of them, but let me first show you all of these papers. Now, things that Flit and Flutter, that's going to be butterflies for one, and you can see them on this sheet. And on the back side, you're going to get a lighter pattern, and you're going to be able to get those corner treatments, which are really fun, especially for card making. And as you know, scrapbookers, you're going to put your photos in the center with whatever journaling you want to do. Card makers, think of these in terms of 4 cards. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So whether you're doing 5 by 6.5 cards or you're doing A2 cards, you're going to get at least 4 of them out of every single sheet. And we do make sure that all of those corners are going to work for you. So this is one sheet. You're going to get 2 of them. Here is, so that was butterflies. Here is hummingbirds. This soft green. Aren't those beautiful? And then on the back, again, similar to the first one, except this time in green. And then we have more butterflies, and this is in the greens and the oranges, just really pretty. And you see these soft corners, and those images is just beautiful too. And on the back side, you have this with some dots in the center, but again, those beautiful borders. We have more hummingbirds here, and in the green with dots, and on the back side, not only do you have this image with the dots that's really pretty, but you have this really subtle background that's been ghosted back. Now we have our large die cuts and our borders. You've got 2 of them, and this is just going to be so useful. In fact, you're going to see it used on the cards today. On the back side, you have the soft pink, and that probably isn't looking terribly pink to you, but in life, when you see this, it's a very soft pink. And then we have the cutouts. These are the greetings. They all have the art to coordinate. Most of them have greetings on them, but the ones that don't, you can use to layer and just, again, to be accents that are right there. 2 sheets of those. And let me show you a scrapbook page made out of these. And here it is. You can see that's out of the first hummingbird. And like I said, the photos are going to go in the middle. This is cutout. This is a cutout. This is a die cut that I'll show you in a moment. This is part of the cutting die, and that's also part of the cutting die. So everything works together. And here is the card. Let me turn this over, and you can see the card. And that's one of the large cutouts and that border. Just beautiful, just to work so well. Okay, well, that's step 1, is to get to those papers. Then to coordinate with them so perfectly, we also have the solids. So Flit and Flutter solid cardstock, again, 12 sheets, but you're going to get 12 colors, and we do that this way. So on one side, you've got this vibrant blue. On the other side, you've got a soft blue. Same thing with all of them. You're going to get a different shade, generally the same color. Well, not in this case. You're going to get the soft yellow, and then you're going to get that orange. We've got a tan, and on the back side of that, we have a cream, and we've got a light blue and a pink, and we have a green and a softer green. So you're going to get 12 sheets on these, but you're going to get 12 colors too. So that's going to come in very handy, I would predict. We also have the same artwork in 6 by 6, but you're going to get 4 sheets of every single design. And you're going to get, in this one, you're going to get 52 cutouts. Here you're going to get double that. You're going to get 104 cutouts. And again, there is a card idea on the back of the package. We also have die cuts. The die cuts coordinate perfectly. There are 31 of them. Again, you're going to have a couple of ideas on the back. And here is what these die cuts look like. 2 different sheets are in the package, and they're just going to pop right out. In fact, you can kind of see how that one's already popping. And just like the cutouts, they will all have the coordinating art, but most of them will have greetings or sentiments. Some of them won't, so you can layer them and do some fun things with them. So that is our die cuts. And then we also have the chipboard. The chipboard we're going to get in really close to. And the chipboard has, true to all of Hot Off the Press's chipboard, it has engraving done on them. What does that mean to you? Well, it means it's so much easier to color. It really is, because you've got an outline around the art, and it's just so much easier to color that in any way you like. And there is an idea. In fact, the card I just showed you is on the back of the package. And finally, we have our cutting dies. There are 19 of these babies right here. And what is so great about these, and what I love about these, is like the chipboard, it has more detail in the cutting die. And let me just show you. And we'll see it on the last project also. So here's one of the 2 hummingbirds that are on here. And I'm sure that you can see how those cuts really give so much more detail, but they are actually cut into the paper. And then we have another piece that can lay on top. So you can cut this out, you can cut another one and lay it on top with foam tape, and you get a 3-dimensional item. Same thing we'll do with the that was a hummingbird, with the butterfly, just like this. And there's a separate piece, and again, you can see that layering, and there, this can go on top. You might have that out of a different color to coordinate. Very, very neat. We have these large sprays that are so beautiful. Again, these are cut to give more detail. And then we have some corner treatments like this. So you'll see them, these are really used on the last card, so you can look forward to that. Okay, so this is what we have to work with, and let's get started on the very first card. And here it is. I think it's drop dead gorgeous. And so this is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, and you can see how the colors just coordinate so nicely. But let me show you what Debbie used to create this. So I won't talk about the chipboard yet. Let's get into the papers, because that's where we start. And this piece is one of the large cutouts. And as a matter of fact, it is this one. So look how that just is so beautifully sized to go on there. And what Debbie did is that she first covered her card with the solid green. This is the one that has the light green on the back side. So she covered her card, and then she took that green dot. Remember, that's the one that has the ghosted image at the bottom? Well, she just used this area and put a piece right on top. Then she cut out her large cutout, and she matted it on the same green and put it on her card. Now, this border is right here. Do you see the butterflies? Well, the butterflies kind of got covered up here, but she does have that lace really showing right along that edge. The sending a hug, that's one of the die cuts. And the die cuts, like I said, are just going to pop right out. And here it is, sending a hug. And that she's foam taped. And look what she's done with the chipboard. In fact, we need to get really close to see this. And there you go, good job. So this is the one on the floral branch. So kind of here's the before and here's the after. What makes it so easy to do, this is true of the chipboard as well as the die cuts, is that it's just really easy to color, because you can see those center stamens. Just do your tri-blend marker, any marker you have, to color those in. You've got these that you can do in the soft pink. And you can really go to town on your hummingbird to make it all very, very colorful. Now, in this particular case, Debbie also used the cutting die. Remember I said there was the corner treatment? Well, there it is. And so she has done this piece, and then there's some individual flowers that you can just pop on top. And she's done that on both of the corners. And it just blends so nicely with the artwork. Now, she did add some pearls, as you can probably see. Here are the pearls right here from our friends at Hunky Dory. And also, she used some of the dazzles at the bottom. So here is the thin line, and this is the dark green, and this comes out of the primary set right here. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in this package, and that dark green just really stands out quite nicely. Now, inside her card, this is the same dotted green, but this time she's taken advantage of that bottom border. The tag here is also part of the cutouts, and let me see. Here it is. Oh, excuse me, it's a die cut. So it is right here. Isn't that pretty? And she's turned it on its side, which I really appreciate that little tip. And Be Well Soon, that's one of the die cuts also. You can see it right here, Be Well Soon. Same green. There is more of that. In this case, this is the chipboard. And it is right here. So let me just turn it around the way she's placed it. Again, the before and after, just quite lovely. And I think we're trying to get in closer, but I don't know if there we go. So you can see, just lovely. A little bit darker on the edges, and then taking the darker color and going along the lines inside the flower. Just beautiful. Little light pink bow out of the light pink ribbon set, and you are set to go. Just really gorgeous. Okay, now let's move on to our next card. So we've got our butterflies and our hummingbird here, but this time it's just going to be butterflies. So you can see we're using a different color. This time we're going into the 6x6 papers, and let me show you the one that Debbie used. So there it is. And you can see it's got a light background, which just really contrasts beautifully with the solid cardstocks. And let me show you the ones that she used on this. Let's see. Okay, so she has used these two, as you can see, which really pair nicely with the butterflies in the art. She's also added the dark green, so that works well too. And in this case, she has made a gatefold card. So taking your card, laying it flat, and then scoring it so that these two are going to come in. So you're just going to, usually your score is in the middle, but you're going to score it right here and right here. 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and then bring them in. You just want to make sure to really burnish those folds so that it will really fold in. Now what Debbie did is she covered her card with the darker solid and then cut these, each of these to be, I believe it's 2 inches, and then matted it on the orange and placed them as so. So she's using this side and then she's using that side. So she's going to have a little strip in the middle, probably that butterfly is going to come out. And then she put this, and this is part of the cutouts. And let me show you. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And look how it fits just right in. And this is already matted on the orange, so then all she did, she matted it on the green. So she brought in a different color. The Happy Birthday is part of the die cuts, and this is part of the chipboard. So let me show you. Okay. Here we go. So look at this piece. You can see the butterfly at the top and the butterfly at the bottom. So that's all one piece. And the woman went to town in doing the coloring on this. Look at that. Just beautiful. Very, very fun. And it fits nicely in that corner. On the inside of this card, this is another one of the large cutouts from the 12 by 12. So in this particular card, it doesn't usually happen, but she did mix the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 6 together. So, you know, that's just what she did. And there's the large cutout. Again, matted on, this is times 3 times. And then from My Heart to Yours, that is one of the die cuts. And then you can see on each side, she went with the light yellow. And this is chipboard, and this is the die cuts. Excuse me, the cutting dies. The cutting dies. Remember this large piece that I showed you at the beginning? That's where it is. And doesn't that look great? Beautiful. And you just want to be sure that if you do this technique, that you really glue these down securely so that they won't come apart when you're folding this as I'm doing. Okay, so just lovely. Okay, we've got 2 more. Look at this. We're going now into the pink collection, pinks and purples. And this is out of the 12 by 12. And let me show you. So first she's going to cover her card with this solid cardstock. And then she trimmed down this. So this is the 12 by 12. There you go. You can see all 4 corners. Now she could have used this, but she elected to use this. And doesn't that fit nicely? And doesn't it look beautiful with that solid cardstock? So just trimming that down, leaving the solid cardstock to show. And then she did use, this is the only collection we have of Dazzles that's by color. Everything in here is purple. This is the purple collection. And she did use the thin line Dazzles right here, just going right along just that one edge. So just add a little bit of polish. Now all of these hearts and flowers, those are also part in here. The Missing You is also in here. That's from our We're Together. Now look what she's done here. This is very different. Now Debbie used our glitter cardstock. Now it's you can see it's called glitter foil by our friends who make this in Holland. We call it clear glitter adhesive sheets. Why? Because they're like this. There are, I believe, 4 sheets in here. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, the glitter is attached to the adhesive. So what you get when you pull this up is you get a glitter. Look at that. Now what Debbie did is she had it and she put it on the blue and the pink. So when she did that, what you're going to get, let me just do it with the pink, you're going to get a sheet where you can see the pink or the blue or whatever color through it, and then she die cut it. What dies? Well, of course, she's going to use the cutting dies that come from this collection. You can see that butterfly there, and there is a smaller butterfly. Oh, I guess she just used this one twice. Did it in pink, did it in blue also. Yeah, and just attach them together in the body. That way these, she did it 3 times. Look at that. Okay, you know what I bet? I bet that was her first go, and she decided to do something different. So look at that. Okay, let's take a look. So she's got the mirror cardstock, the purple, and then she put the glitter on top of the mirror. I think that's kind of neat too. Well, that kind of gives you the full range of it. But then she changed her mind and went to pink and blue. Well, you can do lots of things. But the nice thing about this glitter is that it's not going to go anywhere because it's embedded in the adhesive, and you can do anything that you want. In fact, you don't even have to attach it if you just want a white glitter. So lots of options. In fact, this is actually the piece that she used, so you can see the rest of the glitter on the pink cardstock. Very neat, very clever. Exactly what we expect from our Debbie. And okay, so that takes care of the card front. Let's go on the inside. The inside has another piece of the paper. Now it's funny because this is, so here's the sheet. She used this area. Now kitty corner is this, but look what she did. she got the swoop of this art, but she covered this up with one of the cutouts. She added the purple Mary here. This is also a cutout, and this is a cutout. Let me show you where that comes from. Right here. You always brighten my day, and there is this piece right there, and the hummingbird right there. Easy to do, lots of stuff going on. More of the purple border dazzles on the opposite edge this time. And it looks like she's done some inking too, so that just worked nicely. You've got a lot of ideas in this particular card. Speaking of which, let me show you the very last card. Here it is. Now this is using some cutting dies from hot off the press, and this is on the fancy foldovers. And you get 3 different edges on this one. And the large one, which is what Debbie has used here, that fold area is not going to cut. So that way it's going to let you place it on a card like this, and you're going to get that decorative edge without worrying about the integrity of the fold being lost, because it won't be, because that edge of the die doesn't cut. It does just cut all 3 sides. Look how pretty that is. Now she did first put paper on her card front. So she used this paper. This is on the back side of our cutouts. Again, you get 2 of those sheets. So she first glued that paper securely, and then placed the cutting die and probably wrapped this around, because this is 5 inches, so it can go right through your machine. This is 6.5 inches, so it won't go through either your Gemini or your Big Shot. By the way, did you hear that we now have the Gemini Junior electric cutting dies machine back in stock? Yes, it's been, 2 years, year and a half since we've had them, and I'm happy to see that, because that will really save your hands. Okay, so I'm throwing a lot to you, aren't I? Fabulous foldover cutting die on here to make that beautiful piece. And she has used, this is out of the die cuts. And enjoy this special day, also the die cuts. Let me show you those. And this is another thing to share with you. Okay, here is the die cut. It has these V corners, V ends. Well, what she's done is she's just glued it and trimmed those off, because they were longer than what she needed. But she wanted to keep the center design and those hummingbirds on each side. So that was good. Enjoy this special day. Well, that's going to be right here. And she's foam taped that in place. Now, I'm going to go back to the cutting dies for a moment. And we have the corner treatment, no, there we are. Corner treatment is right here on each corner. And then you have the separate little flowers that you can die cut and put on top. So that just makes it so much easier. And here is the hummingbird. And again, let me just show you that you get the hummingbird, and you can really, I think you can really see the detail. And then you have the extra wing, that's the front wing, that you can die cut and foam tape. And she's done some coloring with, you can use either the tri-blend markers or any markers, or you can use the inks and color them in. The same thing with the butterfly, remember? The butterfly also has that second layer, and you can really see it happening right there. So lots going on. The inside of this card, I love the fact that she took advantage of the darker edge, darker color of this, and then went into the light edge. And this is using this paper, and that was used earlier, but she's used this corner and has placed it on the inside of her card. Ink the edges with Prussian blue. Dear friend is a cutout. Happy birthday is a die cut. And there's that corner again. Boy, that's showing up a lot. Very, very useful, isn't it? Okay, that is our last card. Just lots of very beautiful things that can be done here. So just to repeat, we have Flit and Flutter 12 by 12, Flit and Flutter solid cardstock. We have the die cuts, and you've seen a lot of those today. Let me scoot these pieces out. We have the Flit and Flutter 6 by 6, the Flit and Flutter die cuts, as well as the chipboard. So there we go. All of those are in the Money Saver on the right-hand side of your screen with a discount applied. And they're down below, you can see each of the cards. Debbie is giving you a list of what materials she used, just so that you've got those. And hopefully you've been able to see how many things you can do with these products. They're just beautiful. And I predict that they will be very useful all year long. And there is also, we've got a couple of things that we are sharing with you. One is some cutouts, some free cutouts. They will be sent to you if you have subscribed to our emails. We'll send you a link. You can print them off as often as you want. They are taken from the art, and you can see there are a few that do not have any words on them and others that do. So this is for everyone. If you happen to be a VIP, meaning that you have bought over $500 in the last 12 months, you will have received to each of the 6 by 6 papers in this collection, and that would have gone out to you pretty recently, so that's fun. If you are interested in a subscription, we have two options for you. One we call I Want It All. Now that doesn't have the cutting die, but it has everything else, and you will get 20% off, 20%. And they will come to you before this webisode, and you will get everything. And because Hot Off the Press puts ideas on all of the products, you're going to have ideas right at your fingertips the moment these arrive. But if you say to me, you know, Paulette, I'm really caught by those cutting dies. I want those too. Well, we have something for you. It's called I Really Want It All. Emphasis on the really means everything. Same deal, 20% off. You'll get everything before the webisode, and this will come to you. So if you are interested in either of these, they are also on the right-hand side of your screen. We just keep everything over there. So you've got the Money Saver, or you've got the I Want It All, or I Really Want It All. All of those are right over there. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we would love it if you would like us and head on over to Paper Wishes, because that is the only place on the planet that you can get these. That's right. They are exclusive to paperwishes.com, and we would love to share them with you. And just wanted to let you know about all of that. And I do want to thank Debbie for sharing her creativity with us. She always does such a wonderful job. Most of all, I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Okay, that's it. Thank you, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.